We want to talk about finally, hijab. Actually, hijab is one of the very many beautiful things from Islam. And it is not something to oppress the woman. But I have to say something very important, brothers and sisters. And this goes back to the whole idea of freedom and subjugation. Every society recognizes that the human being, each individual human being, you, me, individually, all of us, men, women, children, old people, young people, we have certain rights as individuals. Yes? But we also live together in families, in villages, in towns, in cities, in countries. We go to schools, we work in companies and organizations. Human beings are social beings. We are not just individuals. We also work together and live together in communities. And we all recognize that for the sake of the community, some of the freedoms of the individual have to be limited. For the sake of the public good, we are not free. It's really ironic right now that what is going on in America since September the 11th, George Bush is saying, in order for you to be free, I have to make you less free. So in order to preserve our freedoms, I have to make more laws that are going to make you less free. So to be more free, you have to be less free. Does that make any sense? No. It's double speak. Double speak. But what he's really saying is, in order for us to keep on living our way of life, we have to make some laws in order to take away some things from our way of life. But this is just what every human being has been experiencing the whole time. I'm not free to go and sleep with whoever I like, or murder whoever I like, or take the property of whatever I like. Am I free to do that? No. Am I free to insult anybody in any way? No. I am not free to do that. Because if I do that, the harm will come to society. So we all recognize that in order for the public good, we have to limit the freedom of the individual. And this is one of the benefits of the hijab. The hijab is not to oppress the woman. Actually, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned the wisdom behind the hijab. Not everything Allah mentioned the wisdom behind why we should do it. But Allah mentioned the wisdom behind the hijab. And Allah said to the believing women to put this garment over themselves, the khimar over themselves, to dress in this way. And Allah gave two reasons for that. The first reason is that so the people may know and recognize them to be believing Muslim women. And the second reason is that they may go unmolested. So the first reason is, it is a type of uniform. It is a type of means of recognition. Because the way you dress makes a statement about yourself. It's a fact. And you know what is a fact in courts all over the world? In America, in Britain, even I read about here in India. Many women who have gone to court and who have been raped, either the rapist had a very small sentence or no sentence at all. And due to what reason? Because the woman was dressed in a very provocative manner. She was dressed in a very, very provocative manner. And behaving in a very provocative manner. And this is something actually that happens to the man. When the man sees a woman dressed in a certain way, behaving in a certain way, something happens to him. So if you dress in a certain way, in a very alluring way, then you're going to get a certain reaction from the man. It's called the birds and it's called the flowers and the bees. Yes? You have the flower, pretty flower, light, colorful petals, and the flower lets out a nice scent. So the bee is flying along, and the bee picks up the scent of the flower. Ooh, it smells nice. And he sees the pretty colors of the flower, And so the bee goes to take the nectar from the flower. That's what happens, yes? It's nature. So when the woman's hair's all here and her lipstick and she's looking all beautiful and this and that, the man, like the busy bee, he says, right? And he can't help going towards the beautiful flower. He can't help that. It's the nature. But the problem is it causes lots of problems. Lots of problems, because that girl is someone's daughter or someone's wife or someone's aunt or even someone's mother. And the evil consequences of this are so many. So what does Islam do? The woman takes responsibility. She takes social responsibility. She cuts the doors to this evil by covering her beauty. Her beauty is for her husband. She covers her beauty. And also when people see her, they say, no, this is not a woman who is interested in hanky-panky. This is not a woman who's saying, come over here, talk to me, don't I look beautiful? Maybe we can go out tonight. No, because she's dressed. She's covered herself in loose clothes. She's covered her hair. She's covered her face, her hands maybe even. And it makes a very clear statement. I am not interested in these things. I am a Muslim woman. I am a believer. I am for my husband and my obedience is to Allah. In England there was this whole issue of hijab. And so one female reporter for the Independent newspaper, it's a big broadsheet newspaper in England, she dressed one day in niqab, with the hijab and the niqab and all of that, just to see what it was like. And she was absolutely amazed. She said, I was given so much respect. So I've traveled on the tube now for 15 years. For the first time, a man got off his seat and asked me to sit down. People were holding doors open for me. She said, I sat in the office and no one disturbed me. And I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed the fact that I didn't have to care underneath what I was wearing. I could wear whatever I like. I didn't have to put on my makeup and make sure I was looking so beautiful so everyone's going to look at me. I could just be myself. This is what she wrote. And I was amazed. She said, I probably couldn't do it every day, but I have to say, all in all, it was, apart from being a bit hot, it was a positive experience. This is what she got from that. So the hijab really has many, many benefits. In fact, we could give a lecture just on the benefits of the hijab to society and to the individual women. But one of the reasons Allah gives is so that the people will know she's a believing woman. And actually, the second thing is the same. She will be unmolested. Because she is not showing and displaying herself as a sexual object, she will not be treated as a sexual object. When the Muslim woman covers the parts of her that are attractive, then she forces the man to treat her as much as he is able. Because even the truth is, whenever a man sees a woman, even in hijab, the woman does something to the man. But as much as she is able, she is covering those things. And she is forcing the man to treat her not as an object of sex, but as a human being. You see, brothers and sisters, when you see these women all dressed beautifully with everything and their hair everywhere and everything, and she says, but I don't know why the man, he doesn't respect me for my mind. Because sister, lady, we're too busy looking at everything else to think about your mind. That's why we can't think about your mind. But when you cover up, the woman forces us to treat her as a human being and to see what she has to say, not what she has to look like. Subhanallah. So does this liberate the woman? Yes. This is true liberation. This is making the woman really what she is. A human being, a mother, a good wife, an honest, chaste person, not just some object for the gratification of the male sex. No. Islam gives women their true humanity. Islam gives women their true nature. And as we found yesterday and we find again today, that Islam truly is the way of life to bring true peace and true happiness to the individual and to the society. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa sallam.